Why sometimes do raw vegetarians look so unhealthy? That's what I say. Matter of fact, I had a friend that had a exercise clothing store next to a really good health store. And she said, you know, when I see those living fooders and those vegetarians and those vegans walk out of the store, they all look really bad. Why would you ever tell people to do that? Because most of these people come into this for one or two reasons. Number one, they're sick. So we'll give them some slack for the first year or two. Of course they're sick. That's why they look like that. The other group comes into it because they're so damn cerebral, they think just by eating the right food, their entire world is going to evolve and they're going to become completely healthy. They're just not exercising enough. They're not getting enough sun. They're not having fun. You know, the whole world is not the religion of consuming food and getting food out of us and detoxification. Let's grow beyond that. This is only a fuel. Remember that. As important as eating the proper living organic food is, it is only the fuel. Now let's grow beyond that and get a life. Let's fuel the life, have some fun, use our brain, get a spiritual existence, get to that fulfillment, contribute, and that's what it's about. So if you're very anal and walking around and counting everything that you chew and chewing 800 times each and drinking particular things at certain times of the day because you're absolutely crippled emotionally, no wonder you look like heck. If you just wake up and have fun, of course you're not going to look like that. And that's true. I mean, look at how many people out there that say they're on health diets look more unhealthy than people who are on junk diets. Not to say that one is better than the other. One is certainly happier than the other, I can tell you that. That scares me. Many are so skinny. Now let's talk about the skinny issue. I had a real wake-up call on that one. When I began all of this, it wasn't because I was enlightened. It was I was so obese I couldn't walk anymore. I was so fat I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. I was so negative, my idea of having fun was fighting. And all at once I realized, oh my God, I'm going to die. Now that was a revelation for a guy who was about 20 years old. Because you don't think of death at that point. You know, I didn't even know anyone that had died except my older relatives at that stage. And then I got on a vegan diet and I lost 120 pounds. And I got all the way down to 119 pounds. Man, oh man, I went from this obese character to Twiggy. It was unbelievable. And I went to open up a drawer in my desk one day and I couldn't do it. My arms were so absolutely bones. And my assistant, who was a skinny woman, came over and she had to open the drawer for me. So then I realized that there was something called exercise, which, by the way, I hated. I was a committed, prejudicial character about exercise. Because when I was a kid growing up, I was a musician. And musicians had a mantra. We don't dance and we don't exercise. Exercise is what jocks did. The most exercise I did, because I happened to be a drummer, is I beat the drums, you know, and that was it. As I smoked a cigarette, by the way. And so I started this whole scheme called exercise and literally thought I was going to die. I actually thought I was going to die. And felt things I never felt before in my life. But I kept doing it because I knew I may die if I didn't do it. And after 3 or 4 months, I've never looked back. No matter where I am in the world, listen closely, I exercise. And you say, well, that's difficult. It's hard. It is not difficult. What's difficult is when you don't like yourself, you'll find ways not to do what you need to do. What's difficult is sitting around, getting fat, getting sick, and whining all day long. That's what's difficult. It's not difficult to do what you're supposed to do, but you've got to get over that hurdle. Again, I didn't want to do it. I tell you, I didn't want to do it, but I did it. And you've got to not only exercise aerobically, you've got to lift weight. Now back to the skinny issue. Now I weigh 175 pounds, have for over 30 years, haven't changed from 170 to 175 pounds in 30 years, and they tell me out at the universities on the West Coast in the United States that I have the body fat of a 25, 23-year-old athlete. Now, what is that about? Is it about mysticism and raw food diets? It's about me being in a gym, lifting weight 3 days a week, no matter where I am in the world. And that's what you have to do. And either you're going to lift weight, or you're going to do a yogic exercise that is like lifting weights, or you're going to get into a pool if you're older, and you're going to put equipment on your legs and your arms, and you're going to resist the water, and you're going to do non-competitive gymnastics. And who are the strongest athletes in the world? Gymnasts. Matter of fact, the gymnasts, they tell me, is over 2 times stronger than the strongest bodybuilder. Isn't that amazing? And how are they doing it? They're not lifting weights, they're lifting their own body weight, which is much, much more difficult than lifting weight. And they're spinning around with one hand. I mean, I watch gymnastics. I went to the Olympics a few years ago just to see the gymnasts. It's entertaining. Between they and the figure skaters, I don't even know why we have other entertainment, to be honest with you. Amazingly strong people. So quit being ugly when you're a raw fooder. You're scaring the heck out of a lot of those people out of there. Get into a gym. Start to exercise. Get out and get a little bit of sun. And quit reading so much. Go out and make love. Have fun. Do something that's exciting.